So I did around 2024. Another guy up front, kind of blazing the trail, and I was like looking at him. Who is this guy? Wally Robinson, running a team from Josh McNeal, combined with some dogs from his own kennel. Now, if you hear the name Robinson, all of a sudden you're going to think Emily Robinson, right? This is a junior musher, a female junior musher, who's had tremendous amount of dominance in these sort of mid-distance races, like the Junior Iditarod, the race on the Denali Highway, etc., etc., etc. She's won Junior Iditarod, I think, 3 times, and very dedicated family support behind that. I mentioned that in the video the other day, a couple of weeks ago, right after she won the junior, but it's worth noting. So this is her dad. Apparently, Josh McNeal, who works for Hillcorp, Alaska, had some sort of injury in his knee or ankle or something like that just before, just before the race, a month or so before the race, or a few weeks before the race. So he needed a substitute driver, and Wally Robinson, the dad of Emily Robinson, this Junior Musher female phenom, who's been blazing the trails of Alaska, has stepped up, and he's on the runners of this dog side with a couple of Emily's dogs, his own kennel's dogs, that have been winning these mid-distance races with Emily Robinson, added to the pool of dogs that Josh McNeal had put together and had conditioned and trained for this year's 2024 Iditarod. So he's out front, and I'm looking at him like arching an eyebrow because I'm like, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Who's Josh McNeal? I look back, he had a 20-something rookie run earlier in Iditarod his first year. So, and I went and I've been looking on Facebook, actually looking at the pictures of the dogs because again, 20 years ago, I could tell you every dog's pedigree in the freaking race. You know what I mean? But 10 years ago even. But nowadays, I'm not as dialed in. You know what I mean? Not just on the rumors, but actually in the the details with these sled dogs and these teams. But clearly, the dogs look good. You know what I mean? Objectively looking at that team, the few pictures that I saw, obviously this is the beginning of the race. A lot can happen, and there's a lot of room to manage the dogs to a higher standard or to a lesser standard than they're actually capable of by musher decisions, and also by trail conditions as we go up over the Alaska range and we get into the interior. We're not going to have a great sense and a great feeling of what's going to be going on until we're, coming out of the 24. Takata, McGrath, Iditarod. Great question. Who's going to actually make a move to go to Ruby or go to Cripple for the 24-hour layover this year? Iditarod 2024. Is anyone going to pull that? Last year we saw the pack that actually ended up coming in the front of the race, all 24 and into Katna. So, the two that went ahead, Brent and Jesse Holmes in 2023 Iditarod, didn't really work out for them. They didn't make it all the way.